Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Saša. I'm head vet at Ora Veterinary Center, and today's topic is weight management. And because of that, we have special guest.
Hi everyone, I'm Tanya. I'm the Veterinary Advisor from Hills, and we're super excited to be part of this collaboration with Dr. Saša and Ora Vet.
Weight is quite hot topic
Yes.
in daily practice,
Yes.
every day, and it's really overlooked from the pet parents. So we should discuss about that today.
Absolutely. And so a lot of the times, what is the biggest misconception that you see when pet parents are bringing their animals to the clinic?
The number only on the scale is not really representing real situation from the health point of view. So we have to take a look body condition.
Sure.
And I'm not talking about the breeds or differences. In general, we have basically the scale from 1 to 5,
Okay.
which represents the body condition. And number 1 is really bad, emaciated, when we can see spikes on the spine and the ribs, lack of the muscle, lack of the
Sure.
fat tissue. And so second level is a bit better, but still bad,
Yeah.
underweight. Number 3 is when we are looking on the side, tuck profile, we cannot feel the spikes on the spine.
Yep.
So just gently, yeah. And on the side, we cannot see ribs. When we touch the ribs, there's a small amount of the fat tissue
Right.
around. And when we are looking from up the waistline should be properly
Slim, yeah.
not chubby, yeah. So number 4 is a little bit chubby, which is okay. I'm between 3 and 4. Yeah. So that's accumulation of the bit of the more the fat tissue that we would like. And number 5 is extreme, really
Sure.
obese. Yeah. So and then area where I'm from, we say the health is coming through the mouth.
Yes.
And you're coming through the-
Absolutely.
yeah.
And that's where nutrition plays such a vital role, because a lot of the times we can see it's a good prevention as well as the solution. So if we can really feed specific diets that are increasing the metabolism of the animal, supporting healthy digestion from an early stage, we can ensure they're not going to develop being extremely overweight down the line. And in case you do have an animal that is overweight, having a very natural, safe way to help them lose weight is the best approach. So how often do you see overweight animals coming in within the clinic, and what is like a major trend that you're seeing?
Yeah, this is really hot topic, and more and more, honestly. And the crucial point is to detect that on early stages. And pet parents, I don't blame them. This is life, I'm the doctor, they're not. So the earlier detection makes my life easier as a doctor. Yeah. So it's very important to detect that problem, potential problem, the earliest as possible, because even from our human, the medical point of view, earliest accumulation of bad, really most evil fat gathers inside the body, which is called visceral fat. And this is really bad one, which is inflammatory and then changes our body to the bad stance. So once when we are full inside, then we are getting accumulation outside, which is then visible. So basically we can see that on the later stage. The earlier we detect that, the easier is the process of the metabolism to solve this problem. And we have differences between the sizes of the dogs. We cannot say that different breeds, because dog is dog, and that's it, pet is pet.
Sure.
Yeah. So we have to take a look. We're coming back to the point of the body score, the how composition of the body, ratio between fat, muscles. So certain breeds, okay, they have differences in anatomically, and yeah. So from point of the nutrition, what do you recommend? How to approach that earliest when we detect, let's say, not far advanced obesity stage, but let's say moderate, number 4.
Sure.
So how we would...
Sure, I mean, that's a great point, because we do see a lot of these animals being borderline. Specifically with Hills, our nutrition is based off of breed size as opposed to separate breeds.
Okay.
A lot of the times, like I said, if they're at a level 4, we would have to put them on slight weight management plans. The nice thing about the Hill's metabolic diet is that they're actually able to lose fat in a very safe and natural way by increasing the metabolism. So there's not much extra effort needed from the owners, which is where we see a lot of these weight loss programs fail because it's very compliant heavy.
So we have already mentioned that there are some individual abilities to gain weight more or less. So there are some topics we should mention as well.
Yeah.
Is that some different breed sizes, they could gain less or more. So there are individual differences. And for example, Frenchies, brachycephalic dogs, they have problem with breathing in general. So if they gain weight, definitely it tops up on their anatomical problems with nostrils, with soft palate, and then. So we have mentioned already there are some individual differences between different breed sizes and abilities to gain weight or not. So, for example, for the Frenchies, which is brachycephalic dog, definitely if we see clinically that gaining weight tops up already anatomical difficulties they have by default. So with closed nares, the soft palate issues, and that tops up already problems. Another, let's say, Labradors, Retrievers, they have very frequently problem with the joints. So we can imagine when we gain, let's say, a Labrador which is about 30 kilos, gains 5, 6, 7 kilos extra, there's a problem definitely for the joints, and then we have problem with those issues. Also, German Shepherds, they are very famous with hip dysplasia issues, so this is for them not unique, but really frequently. And let's say extreme dogs type, which is Dachshunds, sausage. So yeah, where we can see the long spine, much longer than compared to the legs size. Yeah, by gravitation they have very big pressure in the spine. Then this is the problem with them. So in every obese or overweight dog, cat, big difference makes to lower even 5, 10 grams, 100 grams, 1 kilo. Yeah, so that changes, lowering the weight, it makes a big difference. Or top up, then we get extra problems.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we see this trend a lot, specifically for the larger breeds which are already prone to having joint issues and hip issues like you mentioned. And it's kind of a vicious cycle, right? Weight gain as well as joint issues, because typically animals that are overweight tend to have more pressure on the joints, causing them to have joint problems, and vice versa. Animals that have joint issues because they can't have as much exercise tend to gain weight. So it's a really crazy cycle that we need to try to break either one way or another.
Yeah. And really important point which I wanted to mention that gaining weight is not only solely issue. It's most frequently there are other underlying causes which could be, let's say, problem with thyroid gland, metabolism difference, or slows down, gains weight, or opposite. Also, I was really amazed recently finding that microbiome, bacterials in the guts, they are extremely important. That will be another topic for next time, but I'm just touching it now.
Sneak peek.
And those kind of issues, they could be underlying and which could result in the extra weight. Yeah, so this is really important now, how we can manage that. You're coming now to the point of frequency or portion size treats.
Yep.
Yeah, please.
Absolutely. And so, along with any sort of medical condition, which is absolutely a contribution or a contributor to weight gain, a lot of times we see lifestyle has a huge thing to play. If the animals aren't getting enough exercise, if they're not being mobile enough, that tends for them to gain weight. Another reason also could be the amount of treats that they're getting. We see this more commonly than not. A lot of times you think it's just harmless treats, but those calories do add up. I actually have a fun additional chart as well, where it shows the comparison calorie-wise.
That's a good one.
It's quite nice, right? And so if I give a dog a small piece of cheese as a treat, you're like, okay, it's not that big of a deal, just a small piece of cheese. It's equal to a human eating an entire hamburger as a snack. So that kind of puts it in perspective where you're like, whoa, just because it's okay for me doesn't mean...
I just did it.
And same for, you know, common treats that we see given are table scraps, things like pieces of salami, even a supermarket treat which isn't as nutritionally balanced, may have enough calories as a chocolate bar. So the best option is actually having treats that is made for increasing the metabolism and helping supplement the daily nutrition. Realistically, treats should not exceed 10% of the animal's daily caloric
that's
intake.
A good one. That's a good one.
And so even if we, let's say, give an extra amount of those treats, we really need to be considerate to ensure the amount of food that we're giving is reduced to make up for that. And so feeding guidelines on the back of the bag, of course, we need to absolutely follow that. But depending on how many treats that we're giving or not giving, it can be tweaked.
So you can balance it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's really important for pet parents to know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's a point also how the excess weight impacts quality of the life of our pets. Physically and clinically, we can see changes in their lifestyle moments. For example, we can see the less play, less responsive. I'd say that those are the mildest symptoms. Then physically, we can see the stiffness, especially those large breeds, reduced energy, and overall, from the mildest to the higher moment. And we can see definitely that even small amounts of excess weight could contribute to that kind of behavior. So can you just give us some kind of hints, any top from your point of view?
Sure. And so a lot that we already touched on a little bit before, but it's really hand in hand when we see this tiredness because of the excess weight. A lot of the times it's because of the excessive stress on the joints. And so a lot of these animals that are overweight, especially for a long amount of time, or if they're overweight when they're older, when we know already that they're having some sort of joint degradation due to age, and adding weight on top of that really causes that, restlessness to play, or not restlessness, sorry. We'll try that again.
Inflammatory changes.
It causes the animal to want to play less, they get tired more easily. Same with large breed dogs. We know that the large breed dogs are more prone to having joint problems already. And so having excessive weight on top of that is really causing stress on the joints. And we really see reduced amount of mobility. They get tired way quicker. They're not able to run, jump as often as they used to. Absolutely.
Also, it would be worth to mention that why weight loss isn't just feeding less. It's really, really important for us to underline is that we have to take, let's say, point of that when we are giving the less food, that leads to the hunger. So that's also so.
Sure.
And also it could be not sustainable for long term, and this leads eventually to the pet parents' frustration.
I completely agree. When we're dealing with these weight loss programs, I think a lot of the times the pet parents try to do everything all at once. And so, they're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna give my pet more exercise. I'm gonna reduce the amount of calories given. I'm gonna stop treats. All of this all together is really harsh, not only for the pet, but the pet parent as well. The dog, for example, my dog, would not be used to going on more walks, then eating less amounts of food and not getting the treats. It's out of cycle.
Not satisfactory.
Exactly. And these are very routine animals. They like having this sense of routine. And so definitely feeding less is not the primary goal. It's finding a meal that is actually still keeping the animal full and satisfied, but in line with increasing the metabolism very naturally.
That's good, because that answers why doesn't simple restriction always work.
Exactly.
We are coming to the biggest challenge here. We have two opposing points. On one side we have hunger, starvation, and full stomach. not overfilled.
Yeah, full stomach.
Yeah, and we can just say that the biggest reason weight loss plans fail is the hunger, empty stomach.
Absolutely.
So what you can say about that?
And so I completely agree with you. I think pet parents, even with humans, when we try to lose weight, our first instinct is, okay, I'm just gonna eat less. I'm gonna restrict myself in the amount of calories.
Okay.
But this actually leads to the pet begging more, causing the animal and the pet parent to fall back in the cycle where it's like, okay, no problem, I'll give you a treat, okay. And then they tend to even come back more overweight than they were before they started the weight loss program. So,
but you cannot, you cannot resist. You know, usually
Exactly.
as a pet parent, you know, my pet is begging for food. Just give it to you. Okay.
Especially at the dinner table when you're trying to eat and they're barking, you see their cute little face and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna give in. Exactly like that. Yeah, it's same little thing. And so starvation is really not the best approach. It's gonna be finding a diet that keeps the animal feeling full and satisfied with the meal, but still helping with the weight loss at the same time.
Yeah, but there's also, we have to try to find kind of balance between, repeating, the individual approach is really, really crucial.
Of course.
So we have to find some sweet spot based on individual approach of our pet. So different needs, different requirements, and also we have to try to educate, give some hints to pet parents to be consistent.
Absolutely.
That's something
thing.
for me really, really, really important. Yeah, so basically, so we can say that we have to help dogs feel satisfied, but not just eating less.
Yes.
May I say that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is the perfect way to put it. Less amount of food does not necessarily mean weight loss in the best approach.
Yeah.
It's a mix of course, exercise, less table scraps, and like I said, a diet that's helping the animal lose weight along with the other two things.
Okay. Makes a point. Good one. Yeah. So basically, this is the where clinical nutrition proving the point can play crucial point about this weight management from your point of view.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's where the Hill's prescription diet metabolic range really plays such a key role. Because we use something called nutrigenomics technology, and so it's simply how nutrients are affecting the genome. It's in the name, which is quite nice and fun. The main thing is the research shows a blend of ingredients to naturally stimulate the fat burning or the metabolism for the animal. So it's helping the animal lose weight without even trying, basically. And this is where we really feel where pet parents suffer, is the consistency. Even similar to our diets as well, and the amount of effort being put in from, you know, more walks, less treats, exactly, sneaking treats from under the table, things like this. And so that's where having a diet that's naturally increasing the metabolism of the animal in a very safe and natural way is an approach that works really, really well. I've used it personally on my dog and I've seen wonders. And having kind of a supplemental, let's say 2-in-1 diet really helps. Before we were talking about how we know older animals and large breed animals are more prone to having joint issues, especially with that excess weight. So having diets that not only help with the weight loss, but also help with joints with like included joint supplement works amazing. When we're dealing with cats that are overweight, typically we tend to see they have some sort of lower urinary tract diseases or idiopathic cystitis. And so that's when having a diet that helps with both really helps.
Yeah, one problem is not usually coming
exactly,
only one. So
exactly,
yeah. So we are looking for the long-term structured, supported weight loss rather than some kind of guesswork.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, a lot of the times we see that maintenance is equally as important as the weight loss itself. Weight loss is just the first step of the whole plan. It's a cycle that needs to be continuous and maintained. And so it's really important that once the weight is lost, we make sure it stays lost so they don't come back twice the size.
Yeah, we are talking about really yo-yo effect. Right?
Yeah, the yo-yo effect, like you mentioned,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, we have to stick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Final thoughts today. for today's topic of weight management is how physically we can help your pet to lose the weight. At Aura, we have structured approach, and we are coming back now. We have absolutely to insist on the individual approach. With like us, we are totally different. We have different needs, and with our pets, with our family members, we have to assess their body condition, and based on that, make individual plan. We have to monitor their progress, adjust it anytime, and make it right. And in long-term objective, it has to be realistic and absolutely sustainable. That's most important. So, your thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree. It's a multi-tiered step approach. It's not just a one-size-fits-all, specifically when you're dealing with things along with, nutrition plus exercise plus, restrictive of treats. Sorry, we'll probably cut that part.
Go on.
Yeah, and so typically it's going to be a mix of everything together. Nice thing about the Hilt prescription diet metabolic diets is it helps the animal lose weight very naturally, specific to its genetics and its body profile. So you'll see results in, let's say, about 2 months. You'll see a certain percentage of weight loss for both cats and dogs, and that needs to be tracked and monitored across a specific amount of months until you reach your goal.
Yeah, definitely, fully agree. People, like in our life, whoever doesn't try, it cannot succeed or fail. So we have to try. We are learning from our mistakes, but we have to try to make it, and every new attempt, it will be more and more successful, definitely. Tanya, thank you so much for being such a lovely guest today.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Okay, and you explained most of what we could cover for today's topic, and looking forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching us. Stay tuned for the further topics. Also, we would be more than happy to hear from you any kind of suggestion, questions. We'll be more than happy to answer to them. And looking forward to seeing you at Aura Veterinary Center in the future. Thank you.